Hello friends at home. In this video, I will be doing today's religion lesson with you. I am in our Religion Blessed Are We book on page 85. At the top of 85, we're going to continue talking about God as our creator. Yesterday, I talked to you about how everything that God made, everything we can see and everything we can't see, for as far as we can imagine, everything was made by God. And we call all of that creation. So today it says God is our loving Father. He created everything in the world to show his love for us. He cares for us and he cares for all of creation. We can say that God is our creator. God created all things to show his love for us. It says God is our creator. He made everything in the world. Down here in the activity, it says God gives us special people to love and care for us. And it wants you to make a list of the names of people who love and care for you. Now, earlier when your friends at home when your friends face-to-face were not at home, they were here with me, we created this list together. And we came up with Mrs. Bragg, that's me, I love and care for you. Jesus, your mom, your dad, if you have brothers or sisters, your family members, your friends. So you can take some time right now to make your own list of people who love and care for you. And you're welcome to use any of our examples if you would like. All right. Here it says, how can we care for God's creation? Well, by loving one another, by being nice to each other, by watering flowers. And, we talked in science about when you have a pet, it's your job to feed them and bathe them and give them water and take care of their environment. All of those things are ways to care for God's creation. So here it says, Anna liked to play in her yard. She liked the little flower garden. Best of all, Anna liked the statue of St. Francis of Assisi. Anna learned that Francis loved everything God created. Francis took good care of plants. He was kind to animals, and he helped people in need. In fact, St. Francis is known to be the patron saint of animals. Just this past week at church, they had an animal blessing where you could bring your animals in and receive a blessing, and that was in honor of St. Francis of Assisi's feast day. So it's just another way to care for God's creation by having your animals blessed. So here it says, Anna picked up her watering can. She said, "Thank you, God, for making our world." Then Anna began to water the flowers. Now the question says, how did Anna care for God's creation? Well, we know that she cared for God's creation by watering those plants, helping them to grow and live, and she also said a prayer over them. What an awesome way to care for God's creation, by offering up prayer. All right, if we go to the next page now, and I'm going to zoom the camera out here so we can see it better. It said, here are some ways that we can care for God's creation. Draw a line from each way to its matching picture. So on this column, we have different sentences that tell us different ways we can care for creation. And then on this side, we have pictures that will match up to those words. So you want to make sure when we're connecting our lines that we do nice straight lines. We don't want to stop or get twisted up or turn around on the way, because the straighter your lines are, the easier it is for me to see what your choices are. Okay? So the first one here says, help people in need. Now, if we look at the pictures here, we see a boy brushing his teeth. Looks like he's taking care of himself. Here, it looks like she's sharing the animals with a little girl. Here we have, looks like she's helping her neighbor shovel the snow. And here we have a little boy that scraped his knee, and this man's helping him. And then here we have a girl feeding her dog. So I think the best example of helping someone in need would be this man putting the bandage on the boy's boo-boo. So I'm going to draw a line from help people in need straight down to that picture of the man helping the boy in need. The next picture says, be kind to animals. And take a look at those pictures, friends, and see if you can figure out where someone's being kind to animals. We have animals in a couple different pictures, but I think here where she's feeding the dog, that's a great way to show kindness to animals. So I'm going to draw my line straight down. See how I'm making sure not to let my lines crisscross too much, because sometimes when they crisscross too much, it gets confusing. All right, the next sentence here says, take care of our bodies. So which picture do you see someone taking care of their body? Yeah, the boy brushing his teeth, right? It's a great way to take care of your body. You should brush your teeth twice a day, in the morning and at night for 2 minutes. It's a great way to keep yourself healthy and care for God's creation, which you are God's creation. The next sentence here says, share God's gifts. I think right here, sharing the pets, that's a great example of sharing God's gifts. So I'm going to draw my line nice and straight. And then the last one's kind of a gimme, but we are going to take a look at it and make sure that it makes sense. The last one says help our neighbor. And here we see it looks like an older woman who's shoveling her snow, and the little boy has gone over to help her get that snow shoveled. So that's definitely an example of helping our neighbor. So once you have finished getting all your lines drawn, you have 5 great examples of ways that you can care for God's creation. Now, if you turn the page, on the back of that page, we have this thank you God prayer. It says we can say prayers of thanks. We can say thank you to God for creating the world. We can say thank you to God for creating us. So when the class was here earlier, we went through and I read the leader parts and then the friends read the all parts. So sitting at home, I'd like you to read the all parts. You'll just say thank you God, and I'll go through and read the leader parts, okay? So for the sun and moon, you say thank you God. For dry land, mountains, trees, and flowers. For oceans and lakes, whales and fish. For birds, frogs, horses, and butterflies. Thank you, God. For our families and for each of us. Thank you, God. Excellent job, boys and girls. I hope that you spend this week looking around and taking in all of the beauty that is God's creation. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we forget to stop and really look at the beautiful creation that God has made. Just last night, Mr. Bragg and I were talking about the fall colors this year and how beautiful the leaves have just been, the brightest of reds and oranges and so many crisp fall colors. You can just take a walk outside any day and just take in the beauty that is God's creation. So boys and girls, I'll be praying for you this week. I hope you'll be praying for me as well. And make sure you get out there and appreciate all of God's creation. See you later.